All right, folks. We have a trade. We had heard some rumors. We had heard some rumblings. It has now happened. We have Brian Robinson being traded from the Washington Commanders to the San Francisco 49ers for a sixth-round pick. Now, we'll evaluate this quickly, and then we'll have more content coming your way. But listen, this, for me, is a better move in terms of NFL purposes than it is for fantasy football. Fantasy football, I think that there are other spots where Brian Robinson could have wound up that would have made people a lot more excited for fantasy. In terms of NFL, this is a good move for the 49ers. Everybody on the 49ers depth chart that's a running back not named Christian McCaffrey is currently hurt. So this was a necessary move for them to do. Spending a sixth-round pick is nothing for them as, listen, they either blow these picks or they churn out compensatory picks like it's butter. So this is not a big deal in terms of compensation, but it is a good move for NFL purposes for the San Francisco 49ers in terms of getting a running back in there who's going to be healthy, who's going to be able to contribute. Now, fantasy football purposes, I would say this. I would say, again, there could have been better spots for Brian Robinson to wind up that would have made you more excited. But here, I think the best thing to tell you is that if you're going to go ahead and make the investment to draft Christian McCaffrey, and if you're a little bit worried about his injuries and what could happen this year, Brian Robinson is the best case scenario in terms of handcuffs that the 49ers have had all offseason long. I know people like Isaac Arendo, but he's made of glass. We've seen them draft running backs who are already hurt. That being, Jordan James. We've seen other running backs come in who are also hurt. Patrick Taylor. We've seen them bring in old names of the past, then they're hurt. Everybody's hurt. So, but to me, any running back that was already situated on that 49ers depth chart, none of them are as positive to me as Brian Robinson being the handcuff to Christian McCaffrey. Now, what does this do for his fantasy football value? As of this recording, with the trade only happening less than an hour ago, Brian Robinson's going off the board as the 30th running back, mid to late seventh round. I'm curious to see where that goes. I don't know if it goes much higher, because if it goes much higher, you're talking about him venturing past people, the likes of, a Caleb Johnson, a Quinshon Judkins, a Tony Pollard, who to me is very underrated. Then you can look into a situation and say, well, he's playing behind Christian McCaffrey. He could drop. And if he drops, that's fantastic. So I would keep an eye on that, see if he drops a round or two. And if you're comfortable with the construction of your team up until that point, and you have Christian McCaffrey, I would absolutely draft Brian Robinson. If you're playing in best ball formats, I would look for Brian Robinson late. Who knows? I could even see a situation, to be quite honest with you, where there could be situations where both Brian Robinson and Christian McCaffrey are on the field at the same time. It could be. It could be minimal, but it could be. So I like that move as well. So fantasy purposes, I'm more so looking at a handcuff. If I don't have Christian McCaffrey, I'm probably not drafting Brian Robinson unless if you have enough depth at your in the reserves there. You could always go ahead. You could draft Brian Robinson, and God forbid Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. You could have an insane trade chip in Brian Robinson, or you could just keep him for yourself and then reap the rewards and play him every single week. So I like Brian Robinson here. Again, at least 700 yards in all 3 years of his career. In 2023, he had 9 total touchdowns. Last year, he had 8 total touchdowns. He's been able to catch the ball, hasn't been targeted, son, but, catch percentage looks good from what I'm seeing here. 36 receptions in 2023. He had 20 last year. So, in 2023, he averaged 10.2 yards per catch. So that's nice to see as well. I'm sure Kyle Shanahan's going to want to take advantage of that. But so there you go. There's our trade, folks. We've got Brian Robinson going to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a sixth-round pick. Again, to me, this is a better move for the NFL purposes than it is for fantasy football purposes, unless you want to handcuff CMC. This is one of the best handcuffs for CMC that we could have hoped for that was available on the market realistically. So there you go. I don't think there was a running back sitting on the couch that the 49ers could have brought in that would have made you more confident in terms of a handcuff than Brian Robinson. So great work by the Commanders in terms of Bill Krosky merit and now is going to get the opportunity that we all expect. So we'll see where that goes. Curious to see where his value goes as well. And then, yeah, Brian Robinson. So nice, fantastic, nice, fantastic, nice, fantastic isn't the same. Fantastic, I'll say, handcuff option there for Christian McCaffrey, for those who were rostering Christian McCaffrey. So that's the deal, guys. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more content coming your way, evaluating this trade, evaluating the ADP, where it rises and where it falls. We'll get it all to you. But until next time, folks, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers.